This is Quintessential Conversations, and I'm your host, Suyin. And around here, it's not about having all the answers, it's about asking the right questions. So let's start with one. Because the question I ask myself today is, can we ever be truly safe in a digital world? In a world where almost everything is connected, the word safety has taken on a new meaning. And as a moderator, I recently found myself once again diving into the fascinating and sometimes frightening world of cybersecurity. I've heard experts talk about ransomware, AI-driven attacks, and the fragility of our online systems. But what struck me most was not the technology itself, it was the human side of it. Because behind every firewall and algorithm, there is still a person. And if there's one thing I've learned through 10 Quintessential Questions, my book, it is that the right questions help us understand people, their choices, their fears and motivations, far more than technology ever can. We tend to think of cybersecurity as something abstract, something just for IT people. But it's really about human behavior, curiosity, mistakes, trust, and vulnerability. Many of the biggest breaches didn't start with hackers breaking in, but with someone clicking yes a little too quickly, trusting a link that looked familiar. Safety, I've come to realize on the many events I was able to moderate, is that safety isn't just a state, it's a mindset. Just as we lock our doors at night without thinking, we must also learn to protect our digital selves automatically. But beyond the passwords and the software, we also need awareness, empathy, the ability to pause and think before we react. So maybe the right question isn't, are we safe? But rather, how can we stay curious without being careless? And I love curious people, because I believe curiosity drives innovation, but without awareness, it also creates risk. So yes, cybersecurity is very complex, but at its core, it's about something deeply human. Trust. Trust in systems, trust in people, and trust in ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, learning to question, to ask before we click, to think before we share. And that is probably the first step to being truly safe in a digital world. This was today's reflection. And if you're curious to learn more, you can tune in next week for another Quintessential Conversation.